Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual personality, sublime you. Hmm. Today, I would like to speak about loving thoughts and feelings equals, loving actions, and it is by far the most healing of all of them. So, when you wake up in the morning, as I mentioned in many videos, and start the day by being grateful and starting with a prayer, for example, prayers of gratitude, for prayers of devotion, and you set up a certain presence for the day. And by utilizing our thoughts and feelings in a free way, that means directing it towards something that actually is loving and nurturing, grateful. And yes, it might be difficult, but it is something we strive and battle for, more or less. What is going to take over us in the morning and dictate our day as moods and as thoughts? We direct that. In the morning it is the easiest because it hasn't gained momentum yet. But when we set up the presence and the atmosphere and the stream for the day that allows for a certain loving and nurturing both thinking, feeling, and will impulses, but thinking and feeling is the main focus here, for actions will come after that. That is the thing. We should not touch directly upon the will. Obviously, it is sacred. It is the innermost sacred part of man, humanity, of the human being. Sorry. So, with us shaping and unfolding our faculties and capabilities for thinking and feeling in a beautiful and alive way, for there is nothing that is truly static, and for us to be able to see reality in a true way, we cannot see reality as a static mass. We have to be able to perceive its small, sublime, and very fine changes. For either, for even though, I digress, holding one's thoughts to a certain focus and allowing oneself to feel when you think, in a sense. You infuse your thoughts with love, and that is far more objective than cutting out any emotions from our thoughts is, for we are a whole body here, and if we only use this to perceive with, do you see something here? We are missing most of our being. Most of our being that has sense organs. Our inner being, our inner middle man and lower man has sense organs. And they are utilized to, be sensitive and perceiving emotions and certain soul forces around us. So the more we delve down into the depth of human being, of us, of the individual, of you, of me, mostly yourself. We are not doing this to delve into others per se, unless they are fully and wholly, well, allowing themselves to. For no one is forcing anyone to do anything in the end. But it is all about what are you willing to do to develop and grow and heal and become a more outstanding and nurturing, loving human being. No matter the situation you're in, no matter what you work with, no matter background, no matter what, in the end, what are you willing to do today, moving forward, to discover more of yourself, who you are, what the world is, who others are in relation to yourself, and who you yourself are in relation to others. It is about holding that balance where you always have every other individual's here as a living force with you, in a sense. Oh, it is not easy because it is something we need to hold sustained and until it become an autonomous faculty to be able to perceive every individual in a mass, in a sense, and to not lose oneself to the whole and not be isolated away from the whole. The perfect balance between order and individuality in a sense. So freedom in love is the best way. We cultivate in freedom our thinking and feeling faculties in alignment with moral tact, in alignment with moral sense, a common sense really. For morality is not arbitrary. It is a living force stemming from the Devakan, from the spirit lands, lower and higher Devakan. You have aesthetic beauty and you have moral beauty. Aesthetic beauty is when you see and observe an action that is beautiful, that means moral, that is perceived as good, as beautiful, that is aesthetic beauty. When you see an action, perceive an action that feels beautiful, that is moral beauty, you see? But you can also see actions that are ugly, that really, it, it hurts and it messes up our soul to a high degree in a sense. And now I'm not saying messing up by destroying, I mean it really shakes up and I am not going to go into specific details on that one, but traumas and such, taken as an example, it sticks to our soul like some, and it is going in there is by far the most difficult, to say the least, but it is something one also have to take care of, for it is one's own being after all. And looking at our past is our responsibility, despite what our own inner being say to ourselves, right? So the more we are grateful and careful at the same time, for as we say, this take time, patience, consistency and dedication over long periods of time, knowing you are an individual with your specific development. You do not follow anyone's rate of change or anyone's tempo when it comes to your development, for everyone blooms at different rates and we do not compete in this area. What are we competing about? Who can get to know oneself the fastest? That is just silly. It is all about finding your individual and not being distracted by others. It is as simple as that. For getting to know who you are, you will quickly come to realize how differently and how uniquely you work in relation to others. And now I'm not meaning uniquely as in you are utterly isolated and alone. No. As individuals, we are human beings, so we will always find what's human in the end if we have cultivated and practiced this. So no matter how alien you kind of feel, you will always feel a part of humanity. It is just a given. It's just that we have unfolded faculties to such a certain extent that it literally feels different than the norm does. Just because we have taken, well, full care and preparation to make it so. We do not wish to become part of the norm. We don't wish to fall into the slumber of the masses. We wish to awaken our inner individual faculties for creation, for inner freedom, for morality, for love, for evolution, for development. And that we do through practice, dedication over time, and we cut out any feeling of we need so and so many subscribers or likes, or that is not why we do it. We do this because, well, first and foremost, it brings health. It literally invites in health and stability and a certain inner not tranquility, but harmony within ourselves. And that in on itself does help immeasurably when it comes to truly perceiving and also studying and exploring the world. For we do need compassion, love, gratitude to hold ourselves anchored to these feelings. But we also need to know that there are some dark stuff on this planet. That we are literally sharing this place with less than, what should we call it? Less than divine actions. For, yeah, that is what I will say about that one. For if we do go survey the world a little in certain corners and certain places of the world, you will become pretty darn horrified. Now, it's important to notice that despite this horrified being, well, shook, Ahriman is the master of fear. His tendrils comes from the underworld, and every thought and feeling and action based in fear is thought, feelings, and action that is dictated by Ahriman. And every thought, feeling, and action based in love, compassion, gratitude, and a stable sense of, well, belonging and faith and trust is from the Christ, is from the hierarchy. It is a temple. A temple where you constantly build this temple until the materials you use for the temple is as sturdy as ever can be, and there's nothing that can break it down. Symbolically speaking, of course, but also in a real sense, truly. For we build the world temple in addition to our individual temple to the Lord, to our... So, I think this will be everything for today. May you be protected, guided, blessed, loved, Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of all, ancestors from every incarnation, and may you be provided for with all that you need to survive, live, thrive, being creative and inspirational, and a healing force to the world. And may you be safe and sound. Love you. See you. Goodbye.